Welcome to episode 110 of the Inside Byte. I'm your host, Tim Schaefer. I'm here with my co-host, not Rudy. I'm here with Leon yet again. Second episode in a row. How you feeling about that? Second episode in a row. You down for this, bro?
Yes. I really loved it last time, and
Cool.
I'm happy to do it again. Yay!
Okay. Love to hear. We're gonna be keeping it short here. We're just going through the news, going through what we're watching, what we're playing, just so we can put something out for you guys. Basically, we did record with Rudy. It's just audio is completely broken. I spent way too much time trying to fix it, and it's just beyond fixing. So we're just going to record yet again, literally as I'm trying to put it out, same day. We're just going to record and just put it out and just try to have it as raw as possible here. So, without further ado, we're just going to get into the news here. First item, though, I mean, you could definitely talk on this. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is set to release November 10th. This is a story because they were going back and forth on, are they even going to release a Call of Duty this year? They were talking about skipping this year because there's multiple reasons, right? One, you just have the big Activision deal going on right now, Microsoft buying. But two, more importantly than that, is just the fact of a lot of people are wanting them to skip a year and spend a little more time making a game. Even though it doesn't really work out that way, they do spend a few years making it, and there's just multiple teams pushing it out. But money got the best of them. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is set to release November 10th. You played Modern Warfare 1 and 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have.
Are you liking Modern Warfare 2?
Yes. Yes. I am very much liking it. I was expecting to get it on Christmas because my great grandma got this square thing. It was in the shape of a PS5 disc. And it looked like that, and I was expecting for that, but I got something totally different that I wasn't expecting, but I forgot what it was. But then I got it for my birthday.
But you've been playing it since then. You've been really liking it, right?
Yes.
I mean, are you caring about Modern Warfare 3, November 10th? Is this something you're actually...
No, I'm not.
No? Why?
First of all, I really liked Cold War, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and I want to play that some more. And second, they only spent a year on it.
But anyway, they are releasing November 10th. I don't know. I don't really have many feelings. I've played Call of Duty so much in my life to the point now I'm just kind of like, been there, done it. I'm not too excited or anything. I did like Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, right? It was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I still wasn't like obsessed like I used to be. I still feel like I'm just kind of like done with it overall. But, you know, maybe if I just take a long enough break, I'll be excited and want to play. I also did like the original Modern Warfare remake sort of thing. I thought it was pretty good. I like doing the they have the missions where you can do almost like single player missions, but you can play online with people. Spec Ops, right?
They also have a thing called Raid.
Oh,
which
yeah.
It has 3 people in it. They have Raid version 1 and Raid version 2.
Is that in Modern Warfare 2?
Yes.
Okay. Do you like them?
Yes.
Okay.
It is very, very fun.
This is supposed to have zombies. There is that, so that would be pretty
Ooh,
cool.
yeah. I forgot that they had zombies in it, and I really wanted. I asked you for me to get it in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and I actually really, really liked that. But it was a very, very hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
And I'm surprised that my uncle got to level 80.
Yeah.
But it was an older version of Call of Duty.
He plays Call of Duty Black Ops 3 zombies. He likes to do a lot. I think that's what it is.
I think it was, or Black Ops 2.
Yeah, either or. Yeah, he's really good at that. But zombies have always been really difficult, and it definitely takes a whole lot of practice to get good at that. So they're definitely like good games.
Okay.
I don't have anything more to say on it. Let's move it on here. Red Dead Redemption coming for Switch and PC August 17th. Now, this is a pretty wild story for multiple factors. One, it came out PS3 360, right? But you haven't been able to play it since 360 PS3 days. Now, if you have an Xbox One or Xbox Series X and S, you can play it because they support 360 games. But on PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4, you can't do that unless you like stream the PS3 game, which isn't a good experience at all. It's actually pretty bad. So anyway, so they're like, oh, well, we'll port it to PS4 and we'll port it to Switch, and that way Nintendo and PlayStation can have it. Okay, cool. But we were expecting some work to be done to it, but no, it's just actually just how the game is, and it's just brought over, and that's basically it. No touch-ups whatsoever, basically. It may be a higher resolution, but that's literally it. They're not updating the frame rate, they're not updating the graphics, not doing anything like that. And they're charging $50 for this port, where if you were to load it up on Xbox Series X right now, buy the Red Dead Redemption on Xbox 360, I want to say it's $30. But you can get it on sale for like, 10, 15, $20. It's an old game. It's cheap, whatever. You can find it at like a game store for like $10 or something. So the fact of them selling it on Switch and PlayStation 4, not even a PS5 version, just PS4 version, $50, and they did nothing to it. Everyone's just wholly upset because this is now the second time that Rockstar, because the same people also do Grand Theft Auto. Well, they did that Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition of like 3 Vice City San Andreas, and they were just horrible versions, and they call them Definitive Editions, and then they charge like a whole lot of money, right? So they're clearly in this pattern now to where they're not caring about their legacy titles whatsoever, and they're just kind of releasing trash. And I just need to get that out of like, yes, like it's cool to see it on PlayStation and Nintendo, but not like this. This is not the way of doing it. I'd understand if it was just a port, hey, $20, sure. 50 for a port of no messing around whatsoever. And they even responded to the backlash and were like, well, that's just the market value of these games. Some corporate sort of phrasing based around like, hey, we're not going to mess with the price whatsoever. So it's just a goofy story. Now, the cool thing about all of this, though, I think is just the fact of being able to play Red Dead Redemption on Switch, I think is a cool thing. Sucks you got to spend $50 to do that, but I think that would be neat to at least play it there. I don't know about playing an old crappy port on your TV on a PlayStation 4 or 5, but when you play it on the Series X, they just treat back compatibility really good to where the games are looking pretty nice and running pretty nice there. So, like, Xbox, the 360 version, still the definitive way of playing this and the cheapest way of playing this. So, if you have an Xbox, cool. One last thing, no PC version whatsoever. So PC still out of not having a Red Dead Redemption after all this time, and they could have at least also brought it there because it's been dormant on that platform this whole time. But so they're just treating it like whack.
So actually, I have had like a bit of experience with it because I watched a cousin friend, and his name is Gage, and he has a PS4, I have a PS5. Sometimes we like playing together, and whenever I get bored and I don't know what to do, I watch him play Red Redemption 2.
Oh, okay.
And it looks very fun.
Yeah. I mean, the game is great. This has nothing to do with just how good the game is. It's a phenomenal game. The second one, even better, even.
I know, but
it just sucks that it's like,
yeah,
they're just kind of taking the old version, just kind of redumping it and selling it with the high price tag, and they're just not treating it very nice.
Oh, about Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
I just want to say that they still have yet to release 6. It took over a console worth, like, of years, like,
yeah, because
6-7 years.
5 came out on PS3 and 360. We didn't even get we got upgrades along the way of like, oh, here's an Xbox One version. Oh, here's an Xbox Series X version, right? But they released on 360 PS3, and it's funny that all this time has passed, and that's a bad one. But I honestly don't think it's a negative because a game like this just takes incredible long amount of time. I mean, They pour, I want to say there's probably over $1 billion in making this game at this point.
Yeah,
Over
but
such a long period of time. And so, yeah, it sucks waiting this long, but I think the product is going to be worth the wait, is how I feel.
I don't think it's gonna be horrible, but I'm just surprised that it took 2 console generations,
Yeah.
the PS4 and the PS5, because it came out on the PS3, just for it to come out.
Yeah, it's coming. We've gotten so many leaks of it that was put out by, there was a whole scandal with all that. Anyway, we've already went to in previous episodes. Let's get into the next story here. Assassin's Creed Mirage has gone gold and is coming out a week early. On behalf of the entire team, we can't wait for you to explore 9th century Baghdad with Basim. Your journey now starts on October 5th. Save the new date. So it's coming out a week early. Pretty cool. Game's gone gold. The game follows Basim, an assassin previously introduced as a supporting character in 2020's Assassin's Creed Valhalla. While the series was traditionally about stealth-focused combat in dense cities, more recent entries have put the player into more open-world environments and incorporated RPG elements. Mirage is a return to the classic formula of old, complete with the iconic white hood, hidden blade, and parkour. Set in Baghdad, the game takes place 12 years before the events in Valhalla. I've been waiting for classic Assassin's Creed for a very long time. I'm actually a little excited for this. I may jump in just because they're going back and making more like old school Assassin's Creed, which I really like. I don't think the direction they took whenever they changed was like terrible, but I just don't think it's as good as like roaming a city, being super stealthy, and then just kind of like stabbing somebody, and then kind of secretly hiding the body, and then going as if nothing happened. It's just a really cool little feeling there. And I missed it, so I'm excited to do that, but at the same time, almost like with Call of Duty, it's been decades of this, and I'm kind of over Assassin's Creed. But maybe this will bring me back, it's kind of that. What do you got to say on this?
Same thing with Redemption 2, but it looks very, very fun, and I actually, right before this, was thinking about that, and I thought in my mind that I said I actually knew because he told me that the new remade version of it is coming out. And I said in my mind, before this comes out, I want to get the one that he was playing. Because it looks
Which
so
one
fun.
was he playing?
The newest one.
Valhalla? We have Valhalla.
Really?
Yes, you can play it. It's like right up there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Every starter Pokemon will return in Scarlet and Violet DLC. Despite all the Pokemon news we got at last week's Pokemon Present, it seems Game Freak and the Pokemon Company had even more news on Scarlet and Violet's upcoming DLC. Through a new trailer that premiered at Pokemon's World Championship last weekend, we learned that the Indigo Disc, Part 2 of the DLC, will have returning favorites, brand new moves, and a mysterious 19 Terra type. Right off the bat, the trailer starts with an exciting reveal. Every past first partner Pokemon will be returning in the Winter expansion. In most games in the series, starters can only be obtained at the very start of the game, and you only ever obtain one of 3. They're also typically exclusive to every region, so partner Pokemon from Gold and Silver can't be found in the wild in, let's say, Diamond and Pearl. More recently, some past Pokemon starters have been available through post-game activities, but having all of them available in the wild is a series first. Even though trades and transfers, some of these Pokemon like Bulbasaur haven't been available in Scarlet and Violet in any capacity. So this update confirms their newfound capability. The trailer also gave some proper names and types to new Paradox Pokemon teased in the trailer. Roaring Bolt is based on a Mintinia, and Electric Dragon type with Iron Crown based on Cobolian is a still Psychic type. Finally, the trailer teases a 19 Terra type, shown in the battle UI as a rainbow-colored hexagon. We have no way of knowing what its effects will be in battle, or how it will be obtained. The trailer ends with the animation of a bunch of crystals, each themed after one of the Pokemon types, forming a crown. For more details, we might have to wait until Scarlet and Violet's second DLC drops this winter. You can literally have all of the starters across all of the games, all inside of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Jeez.
for you to catch. That sounds
Okay.
pretty exciting.
Yes, but about whenever I was talking about terror type, but I'm just talking about types in general.
Yeah.
I think that I forgot their names, but it was a dark ghost type that had crystals and stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It was a dark type, dark.
He's got
and
like
ghost
the
type.
crystals in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Um,
I forget his name.
but I really think,
He looks like a Heartless from Kingdom Hearts.
yeah. But I just want to say that I think that it should be rock ghosts. First of all, we don't have any rock ghost types. And it'll be really
Because
cool.
they would be broken, dude.
I mean, but there already is other broken types. Second, it would make sense that it would be a rock ghost type.
Based on like how it looks.
Crystals.
Yeah.
Crystals. And it literally says that it eats crystals, and like I forgot what it's called, but there's like a little text to say what it does and what it's about. Some it says it eats crystals, it stay around crystals.
Okay.
And same with the coral Pokemon that is white, that is based on coral, and coral is rock.
Yeah. It makes sense. I totally get it.
You know what I'm talking about? The dead
Yeah.
ghost coral Pokemon?
Yep. Anyway, Diablo 3's last season update. Blizzard has revealed what's coming to Diablo 3 with Season 29, the last season to add new content to the 11-year-old action role-playing game. The headline is the addition of a solo self-found mode, which fans have called on Blizzard to add to the game for years. In this mode, players play truly solo in a single-player experience. That means no trading with others, no experience bonus from being in a party, and no friends to back you up. Even better, this officially supported single-player mode comes with its own dedicated leaderboard. A hardcore version is also available. We decided to bring solo self-found to Diablo 3 after years of players requested an officially supported single-player mode, the Diablo 3 development team said in a post on the website. This mode will temper you. To create a character in solo self-found, select the solo hero option in the character creation screen. There's more to Season 29. There are visions of amenity, pocket dimensions accessed by stepping through diabolical fissures, new monster affixes, and increasing in Paragon ceiling to 800 Paragon points, highly requested quality of life updates, sweeping class balance changes, and bug fixes. These changes are set to be available August 15th to the 29th as part of the Diablo 3 patch 2.7.6. Season 23 is Diablo 3's final season to include brand new content, with Blizzard revisiting old seasons from Season 30 onwards as the Diablo 3 development team moves onward to work on the recent release Diablo 4.
So, I'm just gonna say what I think is better about Diablo 4 and what I think is better about Diablo 3. Diablo 3, you can do up to 4 players, but in Diablo 4, you can only do 2.
The split screen Diablo 3 is 4 with,
But in Diablo 3, only one person can open their menu at a time to check all their abilities and stuff, and I think you have to stay still because you can't see the screen and all that.
Yeah.
But in Diablo 4, there's only 2 players, but I don't really care about the staying still and looking at the menu and stuff. There can be only up to 2 players, but you can open both of your menus at the same time, and it only takes half up the screen. So you can see the other half, and your other person, you'll just move along them, like teleporting to them.
Yeah.
And your friend can still play while you're in the menu.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other quality of life things of 4 that 3 doesn't have. I think 4 is a far better game. But yeah, it's a little weird that it doesn't have the 4-player thing like 3 does, but
I think what it should do is just they can make it just to where each takes up a quarter of the screen.
Yeah. All right. Overwatch 2 is Steam's worst rated game. So, there's been a lot of, there's obvious reasons, right? But there's a lot of theories of exactly why it's the worst rated Steam game, because like technically it's like, okay, it's a good game, but Overwatch 1 had more content, and they just like took away the ability to even play Overwatch 1 and basically turned it into Overwatch 2, re-released it with less content, and we're supposed to just be stuck with this now. And so that's one of the like big things of why it gets hit on bad reviews. But it also it just released on Steam. It was only on Blizzard apps and all that. So the very moment it released and everyone's so over and done with this game, they just basically just flooded with bad reviews. But there's a lot more to the story here. So I'm going to go into this tweet that Daniel Ahmad on Twitter posted here. Oh, sorry, it's not called Twitter anymore. It's called X, which is the stupidest thing ever. Here's something no English language media outlet has caught on to. Overwatch 2 currently has 100,000 reviews on Steam since launching 3 days ago. Now, this story is at this point, it's like a week or so longer, of which 91% are negative. However, nearly 2/3 of these reviews, 63,000 exactly, are written in Chinese, with 97% of them being negative. So on the surface, the Chinese reviews mention a lot of the same elements as reviews from the rest of the world. The lack of promised PvE content, criticism over in-game content pricing, and perceived downgrades compared to Overwatch 1 are cited in all language reviews. Why are so many reviews from China then? Most of you will be aware that Blizzard and NetEase ended their agreement for the distribution of Blizzard PC games in China, leading to the shutdown of Overwatch 2 and other titles on January 23rd, 2023. To cut a long story short, gamers in China have been upset over losing their accounts and ability to play on the national server with no announcement of a return so far. The launch on Steam is the first time that gamers can vent on an open and international platform, with many taking the opportunity to do so. What do the reviews say? On a theoretical level, the Steam launch of Overwatch 2 does allow players in China to access the game again. This is because the international version of Steam is accessible in China without a VPN, and the game has a Chinese localization. However, the complaints have mostly revolved around criticism of Blizzard's handling of the game, lack of national server plus existing game account, slow to log in plus poor online connection, and criticism over shutdown of national server and impact on game communities. So they're trying to play in China, and one, they're just getting super laggy experience because there's no national server, and they can't use their account anymore. So imagine playing a game for years and you just have to make a whole new account and lose all your progress. That's one of the biggest things. So, worst rated game of all time, though. Why is that the case? As noted in the tweet below, Overwatch 2 has become the worst rated game of all time in just a couple of days. Well, what's going on here? Some users that left negative reviews for Overwatch 2 has proceeded to leave positive reviews for the game that used to be the worst rated game of all time, because they're saying, hey, like technically Overwatch 2 is actually worse than this other game. The game is War of the Three Kingdoms, and so there's a bunch of them in the reviews of that game citing the desire for Overwatch 2 to keep its lead on the worst reviewed game. What do Chinese players want? Right. We conducted a survey in March of 2023 that looked at Blizzard's PC game players in China, both before and after the shutdown of key titles. We found that World of Warcraft and Overwatch were the most popular Blizzard PC games prior to the shutdown, both by players and time played. Overwatch gamers were most likely to switch to a similar game from a different publisher after the shutdown. Over 40% say they were considering playing the game on a global server via a VPN, and the majority, 53%, said they would start playing the game again if relaunched in China with a national server. In the end, it's clear that Overwatch was and still is a popular IP in China, but the string of events starting from the shutdown at the beginning of the year has led to pent-up frustration being let out all at once. So the reason, basically, long story short, it's so bad, Steam reviews, is just because most of them are Chinese players, and Chinese players are getting really screwed over this game and all of that. So, one, in terms of Overwatch in general, do you just like the game?
Yeah, I like the game, and I have not played. I've only played Overwatch one time, but I've played Overwatch 2 a lot, and I did not know all these things about it, but at least we still have less problems than the Chinese people. But all of that, I didn't know that, and it just gave me a worse feeling about the game.
Well, if you like a
Uh,
game and you enjoy it and have fun with it, just keep doing that. Don't let all of
yeah,
this other stuff get to you and let you down. It sucks all that's happening, but if you enjoy a game, just keep playing the
yeah, I
game.
know, but I'm just
Yeah, I got you.
I actually really enjoy it. I also like a lot of the maps, and I am kind of sad that there's a chance that it might the whole Overwatch 2 thing might just shut down.
I don't think so. It's just too big. All
Uh,
right, moving on here. WrestleQuest. So, Mega Cat Studios and Skybound Games announced that WrestleQuest will now be launching August 22nd across all platforms. It was supposed to release a little earlier. When performing final checks on one of the launch platforms, we discovered it was possible for players to lose their save progress when playing WrestleQuest on multiple different devices. Because this is a game filled with hours of content and player progression is so important, we could never body slam our fans like that. We are truly proud of this game and believe that we will have a product that delivers on all counts. We've blown away by the support we've been seeing from players excited for WrestleQuest. Thank you all. We'll see you in the ring August 22nd. So they just delayed it like a week or two. I think it's no big deal. They were seeing a lot of problems. They didn't want to release it. And people save files just get completely erased through some bugs and have to start all over. So they're going to try to fix it before they release it, which good for them. I like that. WrestleQuest is a really cool game of just like, it's like a, so it's a wrestling game, but it's like a Japanese RPG where it's like, you
I
like,
know about it.
okay, you've seen it. It looks really cool, actually. I really want to play it. So I
Yeah,
mean, are you wanting to play it? Of what you saw looked pretty neat. What do you? Yeah?
maybe.
Okay. Let's get into what we're watching, what we're playing here. I've just been playing a ton of Pikmin 4. I actually just installed and have yet to play just because of all of this editing fiasco of just things messing up. I've been spending way too much time yesterday and today trying to fix it, and I just can't do so. So, well, I was up till like midnight trying to. It was insane. So, I was trying to, once I finished last night, just jump on some Baldur's Gate 3, but I haven't installed. I'm going to start tonight, pretty much right when I put this episode out, at least like an hour or two before I go to bed. And then Friday night when I get off work, just go hardcore and just play a bunch of it I can. I just can't resist. Baldur's Gate 3 is just becoming this huge phenomenon, and there's so many stories wrapped around it of like, I didn't really want to get into it, but it's just like there's a lot of other developers out there and a lot of teams being like, Baldur's Gate is too good and nobody should be expected to make a game this good. And it's like, because basically they can't be as good, so they're trying to say it's way too tall of an order for most people to make this. But it's like, look, just make the best thing you could make. One, you're sounding way too whiny right now, even saying this stuff. And two, we should be happy that people are making a game this good. And it gives you something to strive for. It gives you a goal to like, oh, maybe I can make something this good. Instead of complaining about it and just saying like, no, you shouldn't, players shouldn't expect a game this good. This is a rarity. You should buy our crappy stuff instead. Like, I just think it's a terrible take. But I just had to mention that because there's so many talk and news stories all around that. And it's just goofy. But more importantly than anything, it's just the reception this game is getting. I mean, it is looking like one of the best RPGs in the last 10, 15 years or something like that. I mean, this year is insane. This year is insane. I mean, I thought nothing would be able to touch Tears of the Kingdom. Yet this game releases. One, on Metacritic, I think it's above Tears of the Kingdom on a Metacritic. Now, I want to check because there's a lot more reviews now. Last I checked, it was just a handful. So let's see here. Where is it sitting? 96. So the exact score that Tears of the Kingdom is at. It's pretty wild because that's one of the... I mean... I went into talks multiple times on this show of like, I think Tears of the Kingdom is the best video game ever made kind of levels. And Baldur's Gate 3 is almost seeming like that. People are talking the same sentiment of just like, oh my god, this is one of the best things I've ever played kind of level. And it just got me wrapped up in the hype. I can't resist any longer because I was trying to, because Starfield's about to come out. Starfield's coming out in like 2 weeks. Dude, I am so pumped for that. But I guess I'm going to be playing Baldur's Gate 3 for these 2 weeks until then. So anyway, I'm just saying, I'm excited to give that a shot. Next week, I'll be giving my thoughts on it, and I'm really looking forward to it because it so does not look like my type of game whatsoever. I'm not, like, super against computer RPGs. I've played a handful. There's, like, Dragon Age Origins, really, really solid title. I actually like the older Baldur's Gate. This isn't like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. This is like Divinity Original Sin 2 and more of like actual D&D game, to where Baldur's Gate was more of like, you know, like those games like Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gate thing. This is a lot more of like a turn-based with like a lot more D&D elements. And basically, if you played Divinity Original Sin 2, it's like that, but on crack. But apparently there's just so many options and it's handled so well and such a good onboarding, where I've tried, like, I actually really love Divinity Original Sin 2. I just get so lost in the sauce. It's just too much all at once of just like the matters of like, I don't know what to do, and everything feels way too like, it just feels overwhelming, to where apparently the way Baldur's Gate 3, a lot of people are saying it doesn't feel nearly as, I don't know, scary to get into, and it just feels very warm and heartwarming, even though it's even more expansive than that. And so I'm just really, really excited to get into that. And then lastly, I just wanted to say I've been playing a lot of Pikmin 4, and I'm obsessed. Really, really solid title. Again, another one of just Nintendo's just best, just pure gold. Nintendo is just so good at making games, and I've gushed on that last episode, so I don't want to do so anymore. But it's a lot more puzzle than even the previous. I love a lot more freedoms. I love the underground. I love the night stuff. It's just like ultimate version of Pikmin, and it's been a blast. And it's so cute on top of it, and all of that. So anyway, I'm done with what I'm watching, what I'm playing.
Finally. I was like, I am about to forget. Please hurry up in my mind. I have been watching a lot of Jaden animations on YouTube. I almost have watched every episode. Okay. Like, every single thing that she's released, except for the shorts. I've only watched 2 of them. Anyways, also, Netflix, Dragon Quest. I haven't done it recently, but I just watched it. It's called Dragon Quest Your Story, and it is a movie based on Dragon Quest. What is it? Dragon Quest what?
5.
Dragon Quest 5. And that was really, really good.
What'd you like about it?
I mean, I've actually played a few Dragon Quests, but not for that long. But, I mean, it would be a spoiler if I talked about anything, but...
You just really like the story?
Yes.
Okay.
I would be spoiling.
Yeah, it can get spoiled real fast. I know exactly what you're meaning, because, just the relationships, it goes over the course of, like, generations, and, it just does, the animation is so good, too, and...
Yeah, basically anything you're talking about is just spoiler.
Anything you played?
That I really hope that I am going to enjoy the Assassin's Creed, because it looks so fun, and I just really want to play that. It's not anything I played recently.
Valhalla, the Viking one?
Yes.
Is that what he was playing? Okay.
I'm very excited about that, because I actually
I have it, and we can put it in.
I watched a good 1 to 2 hours of him doing it.
Okay.
And so I actually know a lot about it.
Okay. Let's get into New Game Watch, and we'll be out of here. Red Dead Redemption 2, like we mentioned earlier, August 17th, PlayStation 4 and Switch, along with the Undead Nightmare expansion. Shadow Gambit, The Cursed Crew, all platforms but Switch, August 17th. Vampire Survivors, August 17th, Switch. We definitely are buying that and playing that. Doing that co-op,
New Game Watch? What do you mean, the Game Watch? What do they mean by Game Watch?
the game's coming out here in the next week.
Oh, okay.
So,
I thought you were talking about the old, very first Nintendo Game on. I'm like, what? Right?
No.
Recently, Red Redemption.
Red Dead Redemption did on the game on Nintendo's Game and Watch, bro. Okay. Anyway, Vampire Survivors, dude, coming out on the Switch August 17th with that co-op. Yeah. We got to jump on that.
Yes.
But more importantly, this is the most important thing in the world, dude. It is. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. So, have you watched me play Jet Set Radio Future at all?
Yes, I have.
This looks exactly, dude. I mean, it's insane. I think it's literally pulling the assets from Jet Set Radio Future and just put it into a new game. And they're adding a skateboard, they're adding a bike, and like the characters look exactly the same cell shading style. It's not just fact that it's cell shading. It's like the way the rails look, the way the buildings look. Like, it looks... Anyway, it's even the same dude who did the soundtrack for the game, which is maybe my favorite soundtrack? I don't know. It's between that and Final Fantasy 7 or whatever. But I'm telling you, so dudes are doing that. Comes out Switch and PC August 18th. Which, what's today? 17th, which is literally tomorrow.
For a brief moment, I thought about Vampire Survival on the Switch. I was like, yes!
So, this is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. You get, like, bikes now. You get, like... I mean, you have rollerblades, because that was in the past. And then you also have a skateboard. And just the way the soundtrack, the characters, the way they're talking, just the way it's presented, it's basically Jet Set Radio Future 2. And I am so pumped. So, more so than playing this Baldur's Gate 3, to be honest. But
you were playing it on the original Xbox you had.
Yeah. I own it. All right, anyway. Madden NFL 24, coming out all platforms but Switch, August 18th. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all platforms but Switch, August 18th. This is the same team that did Friday the 13th game. Fort Solis, PlayStation 5, PC, and Mac, August 22nd. Immortals of Evium, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, August 22nd. Smurfs Kart, Game of the Year.
Smurfs Kart?
No, I'm joking. It's just like a kart racing game, but with the Smurfs. I don't know. All platforms but Switch, which is weird. That is not a Switch version. It's a Smurfs game, whatever. August 22nd. And then that WrestleQuest they got.
Why? If I were you, I would completely delete the Smurf cards, because who even cares about you mentioning it?
Dude,
who's gonna play it?
Game of the Year, dude. And then WrestleQuest coming out August 22nd, that same day, all platforms. And that'll do it. Thanks for coming on. We really rushed through this. We really got to put this episode out literally once we finish this recording. I'm just happy I was able to at least clutch something here at the last minute so I have something to upload. And really sucks we lost the audio with Rudy and all that. But anyway, guys, until next time.
Let's wrap it up. Bye-bye.
Bye.